Recording in progress. Progress. I want to thank YouTube user Almost Cape Cod. He sent me a link to an article that I found was rather interesting, you might say. Actually, I did say. If you hear the air conditioner, sorry about that, but I'm in the attic and it's 85 outside and 95 up here. Anyway, it's an article written by Paul Noel, a software engineer currently working for the U.S. Army at Redstone Arsenal, Alabama, whose expertise has expertise in the oil and gas industry, writes in Pure Energy Systems News, and I quote, let me read this to you. Bear with me, will you? Let me do this, will you? I think that the situation is getting further and further out of hand. We're talking about the oil spill here. The nature of the crude has changed, indicating that the spill is collapsing the rock structures. If it is collapsing the rock structures, the least that can be said is that the rock is fragmenting and blowing up the tube with the oil. With that going on, you have a high-pressure abrasive sandblaster working on the kinks in the pipe, eroding it, causing the very real risk of increasing the leaks. More than that is the very real risk of causing the casing to become unstable and literally blowing it up the well, bringing the hole totally open condition. Another risk arises because, according to reports, the crew was cementing the exterior of the casting when this happened. As a result, the well, if this was not properly completed, could begin to blow outside the casing. Another possible scenario is a seafloor collapse. If that happens, Katie, bar the door. The deposit is one I have known about since 1988. The deposit is very big. The central pressure in the deposit is 165 to 170,000 pounds per square inch. It contains so much hydrocarbon that you simply cannot imagine it. That's 165 to 170,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, folks. The oil industry has knowledge of the deposit more than they admit. The deposit is 100 miles offshore. They are drilling into the edge of the deposit to leak it down gently to be able to produce from the deposit. The deposit is so large that while I have never heard exact numbers, it was described to me to be either the largest or the second largest oil deposit ever found. It is mostly a natural gas deposit. The natural gas that could be released is really way beyond the oil in quantity. It is like 10,000 times the oil in the deposit. It is this deposit that has me reminding people of what the shell geologist told me about the deposit. This was the quote: "Energy shortage, hell, we're afraid of running out of air to burn." The deposit is very large, to say the least. It covers an area offshore something like 25,000 square miles. Natural gas and oil is leaking out of the deposit as far inland as central Alabama, and way over into Florida, and even over to Louisiana, almost as far as Texas. This is a really massive deposit. Punching holes in the deposit is a really scary event, as we are now seeing. Scary event. That might be a bit of an understatement. This came out yesterday, and when it did, the lead stories in the mainstream media were, and Sandra Bullock's Black Baby, how should Lost end? Idol top 5 to take on Sinatra. Teen's nose job brings regret. And of course, the New York bomber. Peers were having fun with the same old bullshit stories, folks, while the world's going to shit. Ah, God. And they say, somebody says there's hope for us. Nah, I don't see it. I'm going to throw out some honks, by the way. Honk number 1105, Absolute Ami, Keep the honks, Joe. They keep people involved and part of the conversation. 2 honks for Joe. 3. Honk request 1106, is that funny? The honks are stabilizing my feeling of the healthcare effects. These people in D.C. are certified nut jobs. How about those full body scanners in our future and the freedom of letting some pervert watch your 7-year-old daughter in full view? These bastards are sick, Joe. A honk for starting over. Honk request 1107, Agent 7 Even. Can I get a honk for that guy who didn't want to honk? It's your show. You do it how you want. I shall. Honk request 1108. Churs Jack 66. How about a honk for me, a private pilot that would have loved to have been a captain? Okay? You can have mine. Honk request 1109. Taras. It's T-A-R-R-A-S-Q-U-E 420. Can I get a honk for being a redneck? Sure. You sure enough can. Alright. Well, that's it for now. What's happening on Survivor? Bye-bye. So long. See you now. Watch your head. Be all you can be. Be aware.